Hello, everybody. I just wanted to address everybody real quick at the start of these readings to thank you all for your subscriptions and comments and all of the views that you guys have sent my way. I really appreciate your guys' intention and enthusiasm to all that we do here on this little channel. Very much so. And once again, as we get into your mid-June general readings, please remember that these readings are for entertainment purposes only. I hope you enjoy them. Here we go.
All right, we got the fire stoked. Let's batten down the hatches. It's time for Sagittarius. Hello, Sagittarius. Thank you for joining me at this moment in space and time. I hope you're all doing well. I hope you're all in a place of comfort, joy, abundance, and bliss. I wanted to well wish you guys right off the start, and that's just due to my gratitude for the amount of views you guys are sending me. Well, I may not have the most subscribers on YouTube, but I will protest that I have the most intelligent subscribers on YouTube. And I just want to thank you guys so much for all your views through these June readings. It really means a lot to me that you're stopping in to check them out, and I thank you for that. I truly do. Thank you for that. So, that said, there are a couple new things. If you check the description box down below, you will see a few new ways to get in touch with me if you would like. The little YouTube channel is growing, so I'm just trying to grow with it and accommodate you guys as best I can. I'm not offering personal readings at this time, but it doesn't mean that I can't give you a shout out or we can't connect so you can see some of the work that I'm doing to keep this channel moving and growing. All right, so we're going to get some cards down for you, Sagittarius, and get right into it for you. Okay, all right, so here we go. Solar plexus, sacral, root chakra. Please set your intention now. The card at the bottom of the deck is number 9, Major, the Hermit. Good job, guys. The Hermit is here to let us know that Tarot has an important message. Usually when the Hermit arrives in overall energy, it's a good indication that you guys, like whoever is receiving this card, is ready for like the next step or the next stair or the next plateau of realization or optimization of success. Or completion as well. The Hermit is one who knows the shortest distance and the most wise way to get places, right? There's a lot of wisdom in this card, and it's inherent wisdom. It's like things that you've known through spirit, through past lives, from higher self, things like that. But that thin veil they always talk about keeps you kind of separated from it, or we go through life kind of learning what it was all about, or why we originally came, or maybe what our purpose is. The Hermit, to me, is all about purpose. So I'm so excited to get into this now, Sagittarius, to see that card up in the overall energy here. For some of you, just on the mundane level, there might not be a lot going on. You might just be tempted if, it's raining a lot. Maybe you're just going to stay inside and, hang out, do the Netflix and chill, or, just kind of repair, recoup, save a little in the bank account, and just do your own thing, kind of. That's very relevant for the Hermit. Okay, Sagittarius, root chakra, 9 of Wands. Okay, we've been here before. You've seen this before, I'm sure, because of all of the signs, who's the survivor? Who's the one, staying last, and cleaning up or making sure that everyone's taken care of? It's usually Sagittarius. This card here is just showing that your heart and your physical being has been really extended outwardly to people you love or in the community, or you may find your day-to-day struggles involve a lot of people, not necessarily struggles, but your day-to-day endeavors, extend to a lot of people, right? You touch a lot of people's lives is what I'm feeling for. Kind of counterintuitive to the Hermit. Maybe the Hermit is asking there, maybe there's this desire now that the 9 of Wands energy is getting to be a bit much. We're getting to that feeling where we are feeling stretched thin, right? And endeavors sometimes tend to look like struggle, right? And struggle and strife usually comes from when our level of care is quite high about something, right? The more you care about something, most oftentimes is the more you're going to have trouble with it, or you tend to suffer with it because you're putting in that extra energy. You have a tough time releasing it from your mind, from your thoughts, because you care, right? And I'm not telling anybody to stop caring about anything, but what I want to say is we just want to kind of manage where we're placing those cares and to what level. It can kind of have a little, care has that residual tendency where it's like you could be dealing with something or somebody that you completely love, adore, or that you care about to the nth degree, and then your daily life has to switch schedules, and now you have to go over here. Well, you find yourself being like, why do I care about this so much? But you're really actively engaged with it and doing your best and giving 110%, right? Nine of Wands for me is sort of that giving 110% card, but it's 110% already. Time to slow down, time to let go, time to take a step back and see the bigger picture, right? And for this to show up in root chakra, this does mean depleted energy. This means that some of you could be feeling very tired. Some of you could be feeling like almost like, not really taken for granted, but maybe unappreciated by, certain people that you've helped is a possibility too. And you're just kind of like, well, what's that all about, sort of thing, all right? It's not bad energy, but it's not the best energy to see there in your grounding in your root chakra. I want to make sure you guys are nourished. You're drinking enough water. You're, eating healthy, and you're keeping your energy levels up. It'd be very tough for us to help all these other people if we're feeling dogged down or a little bit tired. It's almost like you guys could have like a head cold and you'd still go out and conquer the day, as long as you had a little ibuprofen there or something, right? That sort of energy. Maybe it's time for me day. Maybe it's time to listen to the hermit. Alarm clock goes off. You send out a quick text, pull the covers back over your head. You know what? Okay, I'm going to just have a little nap here, a little me time, right? And whatever that might mean for you. It could mean stopping off at the spa. It could mean just, dipping out for ice cream cone, whatever it might be, right, Sagittarius? That's good. Okay, let's move on. Sacral energy, the Empress. Oh, wow. Good cards again so far for you this reading, Sagittarius. You guys have really come on now as we've gotten to the middle of the year, approaching the dead middle here, the 21st of June in our summer solstice. So this card for me, I would say creative. For some of you, congratulations. You are pregnant. You're having a baby. There's like on the mundane, like the Empress in this position is like, hey, congratulations. There's a baby there. Or this is a given birth to a new idea or a new project. Very much so in the creative center. It's kind of like the best place to see number 3 major, the Empress. And it's because it's like, this is a beginning. This is a beginning higher than like, even if you had all 4 aces together, like all over the spread, if you have Empress here, it's like, this is like absolutely producing, like something has a new life. Something has become manifest. And it's almost like you could see what it is, type in the date for its birth chart astrologically, even if it's an inanimate thing or a project or an idea, and it could tell you all about it, kind of, or how successful it's going to be, because it is like taking form, taking shape, as of today, right? And for some of you, it's going to be right on that 21st mark because we mentioned it, and then like just like all these lights went off in my head, and like a flood of words just came in and came through. So, Empress, when she is here again, so my original thought, congratulations to those that are pregnant, right? And the Empress in creative centers is saying, you know what? Enjoy, revel in it, become absolved in it. And for some of you, it's kind of like, if you have to pull away from other obligations in order to get this off the ground, or maybe to take care of the things you need to do, by all means, go do it. The Empresses say there's nothing to be gained by going deeper into the routines and the regiments that you already know when you're trying to bring life about to whatever idea or little person that this might be for you, right? This is now the new most important thing, right? So it's very good to see that energy here with Empress. I just want to pull a couple quick clarifiers because that's so cool to see that card there. I just want to know what's up. Like, if some of you guys are pregnant and you're just like, well, is it a boy? Is it a girl? But you don't really want to know. Or it's like, is this idea going to be successful? What am I getting into? Because 9 of Wands is here. You might be thinking like, oh, it might be more than what it's worth, or that sort of thing. Okay, So here, for some of you, the baby will it be a fire sign or is with a fire sign? I can't count 9 months ahead and figure out the zodiac sign. My brain just won't work like that when the intuitive messages are flowing through. So I have to say, maybe like there is the potential of fire sign involvement here, Sagittarius, or a Leo or an Aries. Okay. And as well, this card, if we want to internalize, is like some of you may be questioning, how am I going to manage it all? How am I going to manage all my daily things, and then this new idea or this new venture, entrepreneurial? It could even be a business for some. While this is taking off, how am I going to take care of my other responsibilities, and how am I going to manage all that? Right. That's why King of Wands is here. But don't worry, Sagittarius. This is fine, because this is you doing an effective job of that, right? Because when you want to look at King of Wands, Sagittarius is a fire sign. It is indicative of you mastering your element, whatever it is you are passionate about. If your passions have led to a harmonious relationship and now the start of a family, that's awesome. Big ups to you for that. And if it's just an idea, if it's just a creative idea, maybe between friends, girlfriends, maybe some of you would be releasing an album. Some of you might even be attending or maybe being like an aunt or an uncle for a first time, with Three of Cups here as well. This means it could be someone like a near relation that could be having a baby, that it is going to affect you as well. For some, that message is very relevant. Okay, so just a couple quick clarifiers on that positive energy. Really happy to see that. Let's see what else is going on, Sagittarius. Solar plexus, we have Justice reverse. Okay. So in all fairness, maybe some of you just have too much on your plate right now, is the intuitive instinct I have. And as well, some of you are struggling, maybe I feel, with a little bit of willpower. Some of you may just be kind of like falling into a little bit of like, sometimes things are very tempting and you just go ahead with it, and then you like thinking, oh, it's like, oh, I promised myself I wouldn't do that anymore. Or I just can't seem to shake whatever that monkey is. But Justice reverse is still very much justice. It's just this could be delays in seeing the karmic cycle or the wheel of whatever it is that's going around, like coming around. Did you have a friend that you lent a couple hundred bones to, and then they pieced out, and you're just like, well, what WTF? Like, we were solid for 4 years, and over $200 this person is just boning out. Like, that's ridiculous, right? So it's kind of that kind of energy, right? And it reaches back to this Nine of Wands. It's like, when are they going to throw a thank you celebration in your honor for all the work that you've done? Like, I'm picking up volunteering. I'm picking up, volunteer work, and like going that extra mile for people in this reading, heavily Sagittarius, right? Some of you might be coaches, and some of you might just be like stepping up and helping to fight something. This is like a lawyer out here doing some pro bono work for somebody because they see a mutually beneficial thing coming out down the road. And with number 11 reverse is still a number 11, so it's a very synchronistic number. You will tend to find harmony in through this solar plexus. So whatever it is, and it's coming back to this message of nutrition and eating right. If you're feeling depleted, let's formulate a new diet, and let's be kind to ourselves here. Let's not like go for these like maybe easy modern conveniences that leave us feeling a little bit crappy when we're done with them, right? Or it could be a situation, maybe if you're trying to save a few bucks, and you might have a little extra time on your hands. Hermit with Justice is saying it's right, like be wary of the establishment's trap of charging you a few extra bucks because you save a few minutes. That sort of thing. Whatever could be easier for you. It could be a lot of these things, Sagittarius, that have added up over time. You start knocking them off one by one, and you realize, oh my goodness, I could have saved like 50 or $100 or a month, or whatever that might be. It's funny with the solar plexus card, like the gut instinct, the messages can come sometimes so far from left field that I'm just like, why is money involved? There's not a single pentacle up, like, and now we're talking about money. Like, why is that? So the justice involved, and it could be like some of you maybe like seeking certain severance, there could even be payments that you're trying to get some money out of a situation where you were treated unfairly or badly, that sort of situation. So just be careful that, you're doing it for the right reasons, that sort of thing. Just on the mild reversal of this card, it's no victories are guaranteed from what I see in this spread so far, right? we've got Six of Cups up here. So nostalgia, right? So if there's something you're viewing possibly as unfair, there could have been something deeper seated from childhood that's causing this uncertain thing to develop, or why you're viewing something as maybe a little bit unfair or undeserved as well. Some of you might be spending a lot of time in your past, or there could be a situation where you may have certain situations with children. I mentioned pregnancy. Maybe some viewers that did not resonate with. They started thinking about their kids, and there could have been some division there. And now this card has popped out saying, if we want to focus on the good moments in the past. We want to find some level of innocence in ourselves and innocence in our loved ones when the little ticky-tacky arguments or disputes come up. Okay? That's plain and simple. All right. Oh, Three of Swords, or at least is reversed. Okay, thank goodness, you guys. Like, in the heart of hearts, to have the Three of Swords here. So, for divorced Sagittarians, maybe looking to the courts for some sort of alimony, child support, or things, collecting payments that are in arrears, this is definitely up for some now. And it's almost like there are certain situations, like long-term, like lovers that have departed. There's kind of an unwillingness, I feel, or a tough sensation of wanting to let go. This chakra for Sagittarius, for most, I feel, is not spinning as in balance as it could be, and there could be just because we are longing. And when I say we, I mean you. It's like, don't mind the pronounage. Just for 20 or 30 minutes here, I become a Sagittarian. We are longing for somebody. We are pining over a situation, or there's somebody that has been on our mind or still weighing heavily on our minds. And it's kind of like, maybe you're catching yourself thinking about it. We'll bring it back to Hermit. It's like maybe you're single because you are searching for that level of perfection, but this level of perfection is kind of been tainted a little bit due to like your past conditioning and what you're holding on to from your past, because Six of Cups with this just reverse could easily say like someone is just holding on to their past too much, and we're seeing here that could be because of a romantic or over a broken heart situation of things that did not pan out. Doesn't necessarily mean that somebody like cheated or was infidelity and that's why it all broke down. For some people it could be. But this card is just saying, all right, we need to be able to let go of old heartache, and by let it go, I don't even mean like past the forgiveness. I mean like forget it. Like the second F in that forgive and forget. You guys are working on that second one. Let's forget about it. When we see something that triggers us or makes us think of it, or maybe there's a song that comes on that makes you, and then you just gotta be like, you gotta find a new reason to kind of take those triggers and put them into a more kind of future potential side of your mind, rather than like keep going to that past. Okay, Tarot, why is this Three of Swords reversed here up for Sagittarius? Right, fool. Maybe somebody's being foolish, right? Maybe somebody here as well. The situation could be is that there may be somebody that is kind of coming on to you, but they are potentially married, and you know that it's foolish, but you may be tempted, right? That kind of thing. Because I had that feeling earlier. So the Fool is up here just saying, you know what? When you're the owner of a broken heart, you kind of take on this foolish energy, right? Because it's like, you kind of say, well, what the hell do I have to lose, right? And they call it freedom. So go out, live freely, let your heart be free, right? What is that, Rod Stewart? Young hearts be free tonight. That is required listening for Sagittarius after this reading, okay? I'm not in no way affiliated with him, but there's things come in my head. So yeah, it's interesting to see. Live free as best as you can, right? All right, let's move up. Communication, Six of Swords reverse. So yeah, definitely a tough time moving into some clear water. Some of you will probably be just directly fighting with old partners over allocation of funds, children. Even I don't see too much sign of children being involved other than this Empress. There's just some real sticky energy around communication in this Six of Swords reversed. What is it you can't say? What is it you can't get off your chest? Or what is it that you're waiting to hear from somebody that you feel that you need to hear in order to move on, right? It's kind of like, is that a preconceived notion? Is this something you're doing to yourself, or is this something absolutely that you cannot get past, right? Where you're like, somebody might actually have to tell somebody they're sorry in order for something to move forward. Somebody is like, may just being like putting off acceptance of wrongdoing. Now that I've got, justice reversed, 3 of swords reversed, 6 of swords, right? Some, like, there's no ownership of a mistake or of a wrongdoing that is affecting you at this time. Could be you, could be somebody around you. It's a general reading, right, Sagittarius? So, but we like to see the 6 of swords when it's right up, because that means we're moving into a better place. When it's reversed, it means we're not willing to look at something, or we're not willing to move forward until, right? Now that word until, that's the stipulation, that's the conditioned notion that we feel we need to have it in order for it to, and it could, for some it's closure, for others it's I'm sorry, and for others it's just kind of like, meeting a middle ground, arbitration, mediation. For some people, this is going to be the introduction of a mediator coming through to aid in communication. Because we started off really strong here, Sagittarius, but now as we move up, these chakras are feeling like they're spinning slowly. They're a little more verklempt. They're a little bit more like just, they're feeling smaller. They're feeling kind of crusted over. So let's make sure we're exercising our voice, our authentic listening, that kind of thing, Sagittarius, and we should be just fine. And if there's somebody that's affecting you via spoken word, or not speaking to you, or not acknowledging an elephant in the room or a certain problem, forget about it. I think it's the second time I said, forget about it, because you know what? You're going to be free. You hold the key, not the other person, so to speak. All right? So there's kind of been a variety of messages so far. I'm excited to see where you guys are at with this Hermit now. Oh, good. Look, we've got the world in its reverse. It's a very subtle reversal on the world, because guess what? It's round. It can never, unless you're a flat earther, the world does not really ever come upside down, right? It's hurtling along through space at like 32 million gazillion miles an hour. And the Hermit's saying, but at the same time, it's going through space, hurtling at 32 gazillion miles an hour. It's absolutely stationary. It's still, there's stillness abound, right? Now, with this world reverse, this card is asking you, it's saying, find the stillness, find the place that you know, that your world, that your belief, that your understanding, all that you are is a tiny little point of light that's inside your heart, right? And you find it through your breath. And the Hermit wants you to go in and have a good long look and see if you can find that, right? When the energy's settled down, when you're finally busy, like if you're here and you're pregnant, once all the congratulations and all the in-laws and outlaws and relatives have all come and give you a big hug, and you're left at the end of the day, go find this, right? This is higher self. And for those of you that are running about volunteering, helping this person, that person, their dog, their cat, and their chickens too. All right, when that's all done for the day, come back and find this, because that's going to be an important key to you guys getting up and open and healthy and rejuvenated again. All right. And if you're going through some tough times with an ex, right, or with somebody that's not playing ball very fair, when you're done arguing with them, or you just, you're miffed, you've had enough, all right, what we need to do is find that stillness, find that breath. And we can get information from here, but that's not the original purpose. The original purpose is just to be in the stillness and then allow it to happen naturally. We can't force and we mentioned this at the start of the reading, interestingly enough, that we were like looking for that next plateau, that next step, that next stair, right, so to speak. When we're looking to get there, when we're looking to that process can't really happen if we ever try and force it. We need to kind of wait for it. It's like there was an old lyric to a song. It was like somebody was like waiting for the world to come along, right? They had already sort of stepped outside of it. They knew who they were. They had a sense of their spirit, their higher self, and they were able to like sort of translucently turn around and see the world. Kind of like everybody still in three-dimensional and nobody awakened to that higher self, right? But you can't never force it. It happens on its own time, I guess, is the message I'm trying to get out. But let's see what Source is saying. Crown Chakra. Knight of Wands. reversed. Okay. So some of you might just be struggling a little bit to find your passions, to find out where that, like following this ascension process plot line, to find out where it is. Is there some way this project we've given birth to can help us in the physical sense, help us karmically, and help us in our ascension process all at the same time? Some of you are very aware, very astute in these esoteric things, and it's almost like you're trying to fit the puzzle pieces together to make it all work as one. And that's very noble. That's very good to see that, all right? And again, for some of you that were waiting on, like you were in fire relationships and things might have went sideways in a hurry with another Sagittarius, Aries, or Leo, it shows that you guys are still going through this, that there's not really going to be a resolution in these 2 weeks, although you may come close to it. It's showing that it's still delayed, and maybe on your side, maybe on the other person's side. And if we're internalizing Sagittarius, don't be afraid to show who you are. If you feel like wearing something that's out of style or long since out of date, but you still enjoy it, you go out. Don't worry about other people's egos tripping, or your ego tripping over other egos, or judgment all abound, right? This is you guys. If this card was like this, I would say, yeah, you are putting on your whatever it might be, your red leather jacket, or your cosplay outfit, and going out for a stroll kind of thing, right? Whereas here it's like you're a little more apprehensive. It's almost like, are we feeling shy? Are we feeling like the world's bearing down on us a little bit? Take that ego, hit it with a baseball bat a few times, knock it unconscious so you can go out and live and be free. And the more you focus on doing that and being in that stillness and the gap with Hermit, I see a lot of good things happening for you, Sagittarius. I see a lot of you that have come through some healing processes that occurred earlier this year, and now you're in a much better place. And it's so funny because I remember struggling with Sagittarius. We're getting bad cards when I very first started doing the online generals, and it was like, oh man, Sagittarius. And now I get excited to do it. Now I'm like pretty fired up and stoked about it. So that's good. That's good. All right. I wanted one card. It's going to give me three. All right. We're going to take the back one. We're going to see what's going on. The Never-Ending Story. You guys remember that movie? For those of you that are dinosaurs like me, you probably remember that story. Bastion! Right? It's like, okay. Or the childlike Empress, right? The childlike, you remember that? Where she's like, you saved my world, you saved. So maybe you're doing a very good deed for somebody. But you know what it is. Bear with me, because I want to read from the book for this card, just so you guys get the messages that I was created with. So we're looking at number 37, The Never-Ending Story. All right. Essential meanings. This is self-criticism, the wounded ego, and unnecessary dramas. We just saw it in this message in from Source, oddly enough, right? Where I was like, wow, why are we not wanting to be who we really are? Why are we masking this? The Oracle's message: there's a story woven through the imperfect fabric of life that tells of hurt and loss, rejection and humiliation, self-loathing and arrogance, and all manner of suffering born of unnecessary dramas. Why do we care, right? We talked about that. It is the old story whose refrain is that you cannot do this, you must not go there, you should not say that, lest your world come crumbling down. Today, we know that none of that is actually true. The sky is not falling. The voice you hear is just a small, scared, conditioned part that got you stuck in a lie, that wants to protect you and that needs you to be seen as a victim. Love is the lost piece you need. Sorry about that, Sagittarius. Love that lost piece of you. Okay, so it's saying to love that piece of you that is now gone. Fear is all it knows. Distorted guidance is preventing you from being true to yourself. You are not your story, and the narrator is simply the voice of your fearful part, that's small and vulnerable and is easily soothed. And by that, it's the ego, right? That's all that it's speaking of. So the never-ending story, it's interesting that they put that message with the card being titled that. I'm not sure I'm necessarily intuitively on board with that, because we saw those messages as we worked through the tarot cards. For sure, it definitely affirmed and capstone what we were talking about. But this never-ending story, when I think of that, I think of more along the lines of things like being eternal and things like being infinite, right? So when we have this pairing up here, right, it's kind of like we were mentioning, like, oh my goodness, that's the ascension. That's, there are greater things like that are more than just this lifetime going on here when we're stopping to consider them, right? And I mean, the ego definitely is our stumbling block, but I don't think you guys are going to let it be so much, right? As long as whoever's nitpicking at you in these old ex situations where you're getting tied up in that is kind of like drawing you into it, we're always just going to be able to keep that ego in check. And as long as we can do that, it doesn't mean we have to suffer. It's just like, what do we care about, right? And we have to put our care accordingly, right? So that we're not faced with this more Nine of Wands energy. All right, I probably rambled on a little longer than I should have, because I had like that sort of that bone to pick with this never-ending story card. I'm definitely going to go watch the movie. And you guys should definitely listen to that song by Rod Stewart after this reading. Anyways, all jokes aside, Sagittarius, it's been my pleasure to read for you. Know that I love you all, and we'll see you next time.